The concept that we're discussing in this video today, I like to call BPEG, which is an acronym for Buoyancy Powered Electric Generator. Hello, Andy Freeman here. I would like to share a short video with you today about a potentially revolutionary concept. If this actually works, which I believe it will, then we can all say goodbye to our electric bills forever. If after watching this video you're interested to learn more, let me know. I would like to get this concept into the hands of someone with the means to help me develop and construct a working model. Please like and share. What we have here, folks, is a basic rudimentary drawing of the concept that I'm talking about. The way this actually works is you're going to have an aquarium, for lack of a better term, okay, and it's going to be full of water, even though this level, pay no attention to the level. Bottom line is you've got an aquarium full of water, okay? You're going to have a ballast tank represented by this circle right here, all right? You're going to have a push rod that goes up to the drive shaft that sits above and outside of the water at the aquarium. This little thing, which I've not labeled yet, is actually a sprocket mechanism that turns only in one direction and turns this drive shaft. For further details, another video, I can get into more detail about each one of these small items. But basically the concept is this. Using the natural power of buoyancy, which we will never run out of as long as we have water, there will always be buoyancy. You basically have this ballast tank here that will have, in further details, I'll make a video for the ballast tank, but basically what's going to happen is, if you've ever held a beach ball underwater, you know the power of buoyancy. What gave me this idea was thinking about submarines and how that once the air is removed from the tanks with once the water is removed from the tanks with submarine, it thrusts upward with such force, it's amazing. And you know how big a submarine is. That's the power of buoyancy. Okay, so this ballast right here is going to work just like a submarine. Right now, this ballast right here is empty, okay? But we have some locking plate mechanisms here that I could also describe in further detail in another video. But these locking plates right here will have little release mechanisms on them. Right now, they're holding this ballast tank underwater at the bottom of the aquarium. Once these are released, which will be just be a small click, these will release. And when they do, this ballast tank is going to shoot upwards, pushing this push rod up against this sprocket, which will turn this drive shaft. Now, bear with me. Attached to this drive shaft over here are some other mechanisms. But basically what you're doing is you're going to be turning what amounts to a alternator type generation, okay? And you're going to be charging batteries with this drive shaft. Every time this thing pushes upward, it's going to turn this drive shaft, which is going to turn whatever belts we need to put over here that will turn an alternator that will charge a battery. Now, we're not talking about a very small battery here. We're talking about an enormous battery. Many connected batteries that will store energy that you can then power your house from. Now, I know you've got a lot of questions and I've got a lot of answers. I just want to see what kind of response that I get from this. Now, I've been sitting on this for years and I've worked out some things that were a problem before, because we have problems with efficiency that we've got to work out, because it's going to take energy to run this machine, and the energy is going to be derived from the machine itself, but it's going to produce more energy than it uses, which will then translate into the batteries being charged continually with more power than is being used. Because what's going to happen is, with this ballast tank, once it reaches the top, when I show you the further video of what's happening with this ballast tank once it reaches the top, what's going to happen is this ballast tank is on its own power going to open up these little doors that are going to flood it, and it's going to fall back down until it triggers these locking plates to come back in place. Underneath, there's going to be a valve. And this valve is going to fill this ballast tank, it's going to empty this ballast tank of water, and will fall into a reservoir down here, which I have another video to show you what happens once it gets down here. But what's going to happen is you're going to have a continual upwards motion of this ballast tank, which is going to charge your batteries over here via this drive shaft, via an alternator of sorts. But now imagine, I know you're thinking, well, what's this one little thing? This thing right here is not going to produce enough energy to power these opening mechanisms. But what I want you to think of is this. Let's say that we had 12, 15, 20 of these here push rods. Each one of them, as soon as this one reaches the bottom sinking, okay, it's going to shoot up and they're going to start sinking. Then the next one will shoot up, start sinking. Then the next one will shoot up and start sinking. By the time this one shoots up, this one will be ready to shoot up again. Because then this one will begin sinking. This one will shoot up. So it'll be a continuous motion of sinking and rising that will continually turn this drive shaft using the power of buoyancy.